Hey everybody, this is vblue42 from AVIC411.com. What I've got here is the Z120BT, and I recently acquired a Z120, and I moved away from the Kenwood DNX 9960, which was an excellent unit. And one of the features that made that unit, at least as an audio piece, so attractive, it was the digital time alignment, and that unit had three 13-band equalizers. It was actually a really nice crossover. It was actually an excellent audio unit. Probably a little better than the Pioneer, to be honest with you. But you know, when I moved away from it, I sort of lost that feature, and I missed it. You could definitely tell the difference in the audio without the time alignment. So what I have here now is a DEQ-P8000 5.1 digital time alignment, digital auto EQ processor from Pioneer. There's been a lot of questions on the forum in the last year or two as to whether these units are compatible with any of the new units. The processor has, you know, digital input as well as analog input, and unfortunately the navigation units don't have a digital output. All the 2010 units have Pioneer eliminated the digital output, but you can go analog. Now I don't know about the AVH video-only touchscreen units. I know the last year's model, the 4100 DVD, did offer full control of the processor from the head unit itself. So you won't need this separate display unit. This is the AXM P8000. It's about a $200 to $300 requirement alone to control the DEQ P8000. So you do have to have that to control the processor. But basically you run 2 channels audio from the front output of the head unit into the processor, and you just use this display unit here to control the processor and to do all your settings here. Now, there's no controls on the actual display. Okay, the controls are all with this remote here. This remote control allows you to do all of your settings with your auto EQ, your time alignment, your 3-band parametric EQ from front and rear, your fader, your sound field control, your 3-band parametric EQ, both front and rear. You change that here. Different entertainment displays, a little dancing display there. You do all of that from the remote control here. And basically what you do is once you get it set, you really don't do much with this at all. I'm still doing my volume control from the head unit itself, which is fine as long as you don't go up too high. I can get up to about 38. Out of 40, the volume controlling goes up to 40 on the Z120 and pretty much all the units as far as I know. I get up to about 38 before I run into audible distortion. This unit does have a volume control as well, okay, and I've got it set to about 17. Ideally, you're supposed to use the volume control on this unit, set the volume on the master head unit to one level and leave it, and use the volume control on here. The reason I'm not doing that is because I have the steering wheel controls. Okay, this is a wireless remote that I've got with the PAC WRIP, as well as my steering wheel controls. I've got them working in conjunction. Okay, so for convenience reasons, I'm going to be controlling the volume from the head unit, like I said, which is fine as long as you don't go too high on it. Increase the volume level too high. The sound quality is amazing. It really does make a difference. For anybody who had questions about that, it really does make a difference. What it does is it puts your sound stage way out in front of you, basically. Without this, I had really good quality before, but the sound stage was pretty much right in front of my face, and all of the audio was pretty much mixed together. And you could tell some good detail, but not as much as I wanted, especially when I had the Kenwood unit. I had a really good soundstage with that unit. So what this processor does is it throws a soundstage way out in front of you, and it really does bring out the detail and all the frequencies. I can even hear now, since I've gotten this hooked up, I can even hear the way the guitar is picked. You can even hear the way the pick releases from the string of the guitar. Believe it or not, you can actually hear that much detail, whereas I never noticed that before. When you're listening to a guitar line and you hear finger fretting, You could usually hear that in just about anything, but it is a lot more detailed now. Some of you, that may be, you know, unattractive to be able to hear that detail, but the reason I point that out is because the other attractive aspects of the audio that are very detailed, you can hear as well. I hear different cymbal sounds I never heard before that are way back in the background. Certain synthesizer sounds that are meant to be in the background I never heard before, I can hear now. So between the digital time alignment, basically for those of you that don't know, the auto EQ, what it does, the unit comes with a microphone, and you plug the microphone in and you run the auto setup. And what that does is it outputs a pink noise. It's got a pink noise generator in it. It outputs this pink noise through all the speakers. And the noise goes around the environment of the car, and when it hits the microphone, it's at a certain frequency. And what that tells the processor is where the acoustical imperfections are in the car. And most of you would know, some of you may not, a vehicle is the most acoustical imperfect environment to listen to audio ever. So what that does is, once it processes all the information, it sets an EQ curve. It basically puts the car into a flat EQ, okay? And then the time alignment will set the delay for each speaker, which is what improves your soundstage. So it throws your audio quite a bit in front of you, and it really does make a huge difference. You've also got fader control. You've got a 3-band parametric EQ for both front and rear, so you can set that if you want. I've got that set very minor settings. I am completely flat from the head unit. I've got the EQ in the head unit set to flat because I did notice that if I did have that set to some type of EQ curve, I was getting a lot of distortion at high volume coming through the processor. So I went ahead and set that flat, and I'm getting amazing sound quality. So, you know, there are absolutely no reviews at all on the internet. There's no write-up reviews, there are no video reviews, no nothing about the DEQ-P8000 on the internet. Apparently Pioneer has not sold a lot of these. As far as I know, they are discontinued. They're not made anymore. And I think probably the reason a lot of people don't go with these is because it's really confusing on how to determine how you hook this thing up to your head unit. And there's not a lot of information out there at all, so I think a lot of people are kind of scared away from it. But, you know, if you can't get an Audison Bit 1, which is another high-dollar sound processor, if you can't get one of those, this is certainly the next best thing. Alpine also makes the Imprint, which is just compatible with their head units only, as far as I know. Which all does the same thing. The Audison Bit 1, the Alpine unit, all do time alignment and auto EQ. And that's really the biggest advantage to any of this, and that's really the only reason I got this. It is a 5.1 surround processor. I am currently not using that. I don't watch DVDs in the car. Any video I watch in the car will be from iPod, and that's mixed down to 2 channels audio anyway. I'm only running a set of Polk Audio DXI 6500 components. I got the mids and the doors, and I got the tweeters and the A-pillar. And I'm running no rear deck speakers. I've got a 12-inch sub in the back, and I'm running a JL Audio XD 606 6-channel amp. And I'm getting an amazing soundstage with just one set of components in the front and one 12-inch woofer in the back. So currently, I don't have any rear deck speakers. They're not necessary for a perfect image. If I decide to go 5.1, clearly I will be using those speakers as well as the center channel speaker. But right now, I'm completely satisfied with the way things are working out. So anyway, I just want to do a video review, kind of give you guys an idea of what I've got here. I may do another review here to show you the settings and stuff like that on the EQ itself. But if y'all have any questions, certainly post them to the forum or the YouTube video. Thanks for watching.